Hey everyone, Aaron here with Elite Water Sports, hanging out with Evan Langford. Evan Langford is going to act like the student today. He's pretty good at this trick. It's going to be all about how to hand drag, and all the different variations will come towards the end of the video. So stay tuned and learn something new. All right, Evan, so today's video is going to be all about hand drags.
Let's go.
I know you got this in the bag. I've seen some really cool maneuvers.
Yeah.
We'll show that at the end of the video, but today let's just break it down for those new guys, all right? And let's see if we can inspire them to kind of check out your style, and absorb that, and tweak it their own way, all right?
Do it.
Okay, so first off, we're gonna learn how to have a lot of lift from our kite. So what you wanna do is make sure that that kite is on its upper side of the wind range. You need that kite to actually lift you across the water, okay? So don't be trying to do this in really super light winds and really small kites in that wind range, all right?
Okay.
All right, so all we're gonna have you do is literally ride almost straight at me. Make sure you have a really nice upwind angle because you need lift from the kite, all right? And what I want you to do is try to hover the board about 6 inches above the water. So literally like do a load and pop, have that board just literally hover across the water. How do you do that? Well, you're gonna have to send the kite, all right? But we don't wanna send the kite so aggressively that you yank out of the water like a boost, okay? So start small. You're gonna have the kite at 11 o'clock. You'll shift it over past 11 up to about 12 o'clock, maybe 12:30, and then bring it back out in front of you, okay?
All right.
You can start with that first, and then we can start putting the board involved. Let's just see what you got, and we'll tweak you as we go.
Perfect.
Okay, so you just almost executed that perfectly, right? But did you notice that the kite was like at 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
It never really lifted you. You're kind of just like doing a board pop.
Most of it.
Right. And this maneuver is all about kite control.
Okay.
Hardly anything to do with the board, okay? So I need you to start sending that kite just a little bit more past 12. I do have to critique you on the actual upwind angle. It was pretty crosswind, and maybe that's because I'm standing here teaching and we're pinched on the land. Just go downwind a little bit more and really cut upwind. So the highest upwind angle you could do will give you the most amount of lift from the kite, okay? All right, so two things, upwind angle, and then send the kite past 12, just barely 12:30 this time.
Okay.
All right? You felt it on that one, right? The board was about a foot above the water. You had really nice kite control. You know, the last couple ones, you were really focused on like the kite and whatnot. And you know, I noticed on this one that looked really, really nice. You kind of lifted the board up a bit, right? And you're kind of hanging into the saddle or your harness, okay?
Tight to keep me up.
Yes, exactly. So this time around, what we're gonna do is just kind of teeter on releasing your back hand, okay? Make sure that when you release your backhand, don't go full send, like hand way off, just barely let go of it. And if you want to, and if you feel comfortable, maybe try to reach down to touch your board. You don't have to touch it. You don't even have to go all the way down. Just try it, okay? So same maneuver. Let's start letting go of that backhand. Okay, so that last one was pretty cool, right? Man, you really let go of that backhand. You went for it, man. That's great, all right? And you know, the users at home, I would say like maybe don't bring that hand out so far, okay? Just keep it hovering right there. But you felt really confident, so go for it, right? So that hand went really far back, and now what we wanna do is now we wanna touch the water, right? How can we do that? We just start lifting our board up a little higher and using our harness like it's a basket, right? And we're just kind of pendulating them on that harness, okay? So this time around, don't go crazy on me now, all right? You're gonna lift that board up a little higher out in front of you and just go ahead and do a slight tap of the water, okay? Now the stereotypical like hand drag is this long drawn out one, 5 or 6 seconds. We're not going for that, okay? Just touch it.
Tap.
Yep. And then grab that bar right away. And then what we'll do is we'll start kind of orienting how much wind and power and skill we have, and we'll start counting maybe possibly. So 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and sometimes you get 5 seconds, sometimes you can only get 2 seconds, all right? So you'll start feeling that power change in the kite, right?
Keep the kite directly where it is.
Yeah.
11, 12 o'clock, a little bit past 12.
Well, we want it at 12 o'clock because we want as much lift.
Yeah.
After it sends past 12, then we want to send it up to 12 and leave it there, okay? Once you start feeling like the power subsiding, that's when you need to get that other hand back up there, okay? And send that kite off in front of you so you don't slow that momentum down, okay? All right, let's see what you got. All right, Evan, how was that one?
That was pretty cool.
Give me some feedback. What are you feeling?
Definitely could go a little bit longer.
Okay.
I practiced a little bit more. Felt really cool to get the board above my head.
Okay.
The kite, definitely your tension on your bar. You don't want too much or else it'll just rip you up off the water.
Mm-hmm.
Spray in my face, that was the best feeling.
Okay, all right. So you're taking in all these new sensations, right?
Yeah.
And things are happening fast, and with every trick, things start to slow down as you get better at them, okay? Something that helps me with this trick is also just starting to count in my head, 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, and seeing what that trend is, right? Some days I can do 5 seconds, and it's really just the loftiness of the wind, or maybe the wind's not as strong, or maybe it's stronger that day. So what you can start doing is practicing how long can you go, and know when you got to get that board back underneath you, okay?
Yeah.
So let's see how long you can go, all right?
All right.
Let's just have some fun with it. Hold that hand in that water as long as possible. Remember, lift your board up high. So Evan, you had a little bit of time of practice, kind of a little self-discovery moment there. You know, you did it 3-4 times, and now we're going to talk about it, right? So you're already starting to experience that, like, if you don't send the kite past 12, or at least to 12 before you release, you're not going to get a lot of loft, okay? And if you over send the kite, then you release from the water. But here's a sensation that you might not be honing in on just yet, is that that bar can actually control your height pretty well. So if you happen to over send the kite or maybe under send it, you can start really feathering that bar in and out, okay? So a nice overlapping hand like you have it right now, but on your front hand, of course. And then also really starting to maybe isolate where you're just thinking about that bar. So really do the same maneuver, but not as radical or not trying to do it as long, you know, and just focusing on where that bar placement is so you can really hone in on that power, okay? Additionally, speed. Speed is really great, right? When you want to really prolong those long hand drags, you need a lot of speed, okay? And don't release off the water until that kite gets past 12, okay? If you release before that, what happens is you're not as dialed into that power distribution on the bar placement, okay? All right, so as the kite goes past 12, remember you can always send the kite back to 12 and that'll give you more lift, okay? So that's how you really start to extend those longer and longer hand drags, all right? Yeah, so, you know, breaking it down to board skill, then kite skill, and then you'll start working on your body mechanics, like lifting the board higher or tweaking out a little bit. But, you know, these are all the bare basics, and step by step, we got to break them down just to make your style look even better down the road. So let's see a couple more out of you, and we'll finish it up. Evan, dude, you crushed it, right?
Sweet.
It's fantastic feeling, right? You know, and I already know that you're an awesome rider doing those longer hand drags with back rolls and stuff like that. But you know, I hope that like this, going back to the fundamentals, is going to open your toolbox to other really cool hand drag tricks, right?
It's definitely nice going back to the basics, learning everything. Once you get to, you know, a certain level, you start expanding, but it's good to go back to the basics, make sure you got everything unlocked.
Right, really dial in that power distribution on the bar, how to lift that board and just hover across the water, and really dialing in the exact placement of the kite. You know, sometimes go to the basics and your better tricks are actually going to be even easier and better and more extreme or whatever. So go at your own pace, right? So if we're inspiring you with these kind of videos, you know, inspire us to make sure that you like and subscribe to them, and we'll keep them coming. If you have any comments or questions, whatnot, leave them in the comment section. We'll get back to you right away. And hey, you know what? If we don't see you on the beach, we'll see you on the water. This is Aaron with Elite Water Sports, hanging out with Evan.